Hey, really awesome video that I just loaded. And it really deals with, we get into Graham Greene, the Destructors, and it does give us Friday, May 10th in Gematria. Graham Greene, the Destructors on a Gematria match exactly. It gives the match exact of May 10th, Friday. This year, May 10th is Friday, and it falls between the highest watch date we have, May 9th, rising on 5/11, May 11th. And 5/11 code is United States and Canada for traveling. When he rises, he travels. It is 9/11. It transfer portals over to 9/11. We show you that. And that's two big codes they give us is 9/11 and 5/11. And I showed in the video how in the transfer portal of time, Janus Tenet, January 10th, 2022, the Donnie Darko overlay month. January sees backwards and forwards. The movie Tenet was 10 going backwards and forwards. And January of 2022 is an exact month overlay, day for day, of the 31 days of October 1988. And on the 10th in Donnie Darko was when they started talking about portals. And that was the national championship game, which is all about transfer portal. Back then, that started really getting big, and they had all the Dr. Pepper transfer portal commercials. And so it's just a good video. It's 16 to 17 minutes long. I would definitely check that out. And but trans in the transfer portal where you move time backwards and forwards, uh, it's 852 days forwards, lands on 5/11, go backwards 852 days, it lands on 9/11. And those are two codes you dial. You dial 5/11, you dial 9/11. One's for an emergency, the other's for travel. But they're two big dialing codes that they give us. And they transfer portal back and forth to each other. And Graham Greene, the Destructors from Donnie Darko, does give us the middle day, May 10th, going down on the 9th, rising on the 10th, right there. And it gives us Friday, May 10th. So that was big. But I had more prep to do. I didn't scroll down far enough. Madonna's Sticky and Sweet tour, I saw it in Atlanta. The first one is called The Sweet Machine. It was an introduction, I guess, before she comes out. And it says Manipulated Living by Michael Andrews. Manipulated Living by Michael Andrews is from Donnie Darko. Manipulated Living, Michael Andrews, Donnie Darko. Manipulated Living. I mean, what are the chances that Madonna opens up with something from Donnie Darko when Donnie Darko gives you the God machine, and it's called the Sweet Machine? Her opening introduction. And we know when Donnie Darko saved the rabbits, the God machine saved the rabbits in Donnie Darko. It's all about the AI that goes in the machine. That's the god of fortresses. It's the goddess Chibel. Chibel gets into cybernetics, and cybernetics is mixing man and machine or animal and machine. And that's what, through the technology, through the ghost in the machine, they will enter and possess all humans that worship the image of the beast. So it's fascinating. So should we then do a YouTube search and see if we can get it that way? I want to know what it sounds like. I guess that's it. Hmm. Let me turn it off. Let me view it. I'll put it in the description. I want to hear it, but I can't play it for y'all or they'll zap the video. So that's it. Yep. I didn't go more than 6 seconds at a time, so without skipping around, so I should be good there. But let's finish up with the prep that I had. Again, in James Bond, he is the Trident when they're tracking him. The Trident was at the opening of On Her Majesty's Secret Service. The Trident was at the opening of No Time to Die in each musical opening. And of course, that stands for Poseidon, the beast out of the sea. That's all that is. It says here, they said, which one is Bond? They go, he's the Psy, he's the Trident thingy. So I gave you the, what you would call the closed captioning. It's just beast out of the sea reference. So math, ILDE, is the name of Bond's daughter. When you do the math of ILDE, because her name is Mathilde, Bond's daughter, Mathilde. And I couldn't help but notice it's just the word math. The name of James Bond's daughter, Mathilde.
According to Screen Rant, Bond's No Time to Die death set up a Matilda Swan spin-off set in the future. No Time to Die introduces Matilda Swan, who, somewhat remarkably, considering 07's track record in the bedroom, is the spy's first official offspring in movie canon.
So her name is Math, Mathilde. So I went ahead and multiplied 9 times 12 times 4 times 5. And you do get 216. Do the math, which is James Bond's car tag in many of his movies because it's 6 times 6 times 6. Do the math, ILDE. So it's fascinating, isn't it? Anatomy of a decode. The MPA on No Time to Die is 52540. And I know May 25th is 2 days after the Flower full moon. Flower Films is who produces Donnie Darko, again with that divine feminine thing. Him going down in March or before the total solar eclipse, but really May is the divine feminine. That is what births him. I just think May is the biggest month each year when we get to it, followed by probably August, which is out of time license tag was August. And Never Tear Us Apart, big for May 9th, but also for March 18th range. So Never Tear Us Apart, song released October 19th, 1987. If we run it to our 5/9/86ing day, it does begin with 13-3 in the days. 13,352. We know 352 is the area code for Gainesville Devil's Advocate University. They came and got Keanu Reeves, the Devil's Advocate, out of Gainesville, Florida, plucked him right out of Gainesville, Florida, said, "Go Gators," doing shots at the beginning of the movie. It is 36 years, 6 months, 20 days. So it would be on the rising day. When you go from eclipse to eclipse, they're always 177, 176 days apart. And when you go from further out and you double that, they're 354 days out. And it is 13-3 fused with 354 on the rising day to Never Tear Us Apart, which was a song in Donnie Darko. If you run it to March 18th, it begins 13,300 even. And I really like that 318 day going down in winter, rising first day of spring. There's a lot of codes in that. Eve to 6:30. So you see Hallows Eve, okay? Hallows Eve is on this sign, and it says Middlesex Halloween Carnival 2630. You definitely want to look at June 30th, because that is giving you the eve of the event, which could, of course, take place on July 1st. July 3rd is also a big time. That's when Sirius goes dormant. So if he goes down on the 1st, he rises on the 3rd, but then goes dark. He is the Dark Knight. He will be in hiding. So I think you really have to look at July 1st, which was the darkest day in my hometown, July 1st. It was a death. That was the saddest day. It was a child my age. I was a child at the time. It was 1975. And I was 13, about to turn 14, I think. 75. Yeah. Yeah. And so he died as a 13-year-old. And it was the saddest day in my town's history. And this would, of course, be the saddest day on the earth, because for the sheep, the book of Revelation is opened. And, or it's officially opened 2 days later when he rises. That's the crowning. We're living in the book of Revelation in real time, but we would know at that moment it's opened. So that's a tricky date, because it says the eve to 6:30. Halloween, Day of the Dead, and all that time frame. So this would be the actual Day of the Dead. It's interesting. I'll start a playlist on that date. Why not? We can look at the moon, what all's going on. July 1st. It would be a Taurus, the bull moon. He would rise with a Gemini moon. July 3rd. We get a new moon on July 5th. And a full moon July 21st. So Donnie Darko here, I'm going to show you this. Hang on. The clock gives you 9:05, the date we think he's going down. One of the dates we think he's going down. That's what the whole picture looks like. There's the clock down there. And that's it when you blow it up. 9/5. I'm sorry. May 9th. That's another way to write May 9th. Most countries write it 9/5. We write it 5/9. And that was the prep of the previous video. So that's it. I just forgot to finish my prep, and we did run across some more interesting items. All right, love you.